It's Art with A-Bird Freedom Support, and today I'm going to give you 3 things to assist you before you come into a firearms establishment such as my shop here in Lake Havasu City, Arizona, because heading into a gun shop without a game plan can get overwhelming fast. Whether you're dreading the paperwork, that's right, that dreaded 4473, or you're just staring at an entire wall of endless options. But in today's video, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to break it down into the 3 biggest things that I see people not do that you should probably know about before you walk in through those shop doors right over there to make your buying experience fast, stress-free, and successful, because a successful firearms purchase is what I'm here. I keep saying we like I have employees. That's what I'm here to try to facilitate for both you and myself, because of the fact that the A-Bird Freedom Fam is a community. Inside of the 2A community, I very much enjoy when I can run into my customers on the range and they are completely satisfied with their firearms purchase. Now, let's go ahead and let's dive right into this. There's no need for sales pitches. I am not trying to sell you anything in my shop today. I am going to, however, save one thing for last. Let's go ahead and go over our period of instruction, you might say. 3 things for a better buying experience. We're going to go over the 4473. That's going to be first. We're just going to get that one right out of the way. And what I'm going to share with you are a few things that makes it easier for me and for you. We're going to discuss purpose. And then at the end, go ahead, stay till the end. I'm going to share customer interactions, and oftentimes number 3 is done incorrectly or it's done wrong. Today I'm going to hopefully clear some of that up for everybody who sees this video. And if you have a friend, coworker, whoever that's thinking about that first firearms purchase, go ahead and share this video with them. Throw a like, throw a comment. If you think I missed something in these 3, go ahead and put it in the comments. 4473. As there's no getting around it, with certain exceptions. Some states do have provisions where if you have that state's issued concealed weapons permit, the 4473 must still be filled out. There's no getting around that. And then there is an exemption for having to have the person at the store, i.e. myself, beat and bang, hunt and peck on the computer to put your information in there. I've done another video on a smoother 4473. I'm not going to beat this to death. I'm going to give you the couple of things that is frustrating for you as the buyer and for me as the retailer having to run your background check. First and foremost, my preference is black ink. I will hand you a pen. That is because your pen and my pen should be different. That is so that everybody knows you filled out your portion, I filled out my portion. Now let's talk about your portion for just a hot little quick second here. Penmanship will expedite this entire process. Straight out of the gate, take your time. If you don't know, ask. Don't just put in what you think you should put in. Put in what's actually required. Anybody else in any firearms establishment, we're here to help you facilitate a smooth filling out of the 4473 background check form or the NICS check form. Okay, so penmanship is important. If you're confused, stop, ask questions about the questions. We can 100% explain the questions. It is a government form. Now, when you reach the end of your portion, you stop. That's it. Nothing beyond that pertains to you, and it will literally just confuse you. Number 1 issue with the 4473 NICS background check is you must provide a current form of identification. That's right, your ID cannot be expired. You are going to be asked by myself or anybody else, is this address current and correct? I'm going to tell you right now, there are supplemental documents that can be used if you've relocated and you have these. There are some restrictions on those. They have to be issued by a municipality, city, state, federal. You're much better off to go ahead before you make that purchase and have to go through that whole hassle. Make sure your ID card is A, not expired, B, your address is current and correct. 4473 assistance right then and there. If you have any questions about the 4473, now would be a good time to go ahead and type them in the comments. As always, I do make a solid effort to read and reply to all comments, good, bad, or indifferent. Purpose. Purpose. Now, the purpose is not just that you're coming into the firearms retail, coming into the gun shop. Let's just call it what it is. You're coming in the gun shop because you would like to purchase a firearm. That's great. What is the purpose for this firearm? And I'm going to give you a couple of examples, and the most common being defense. Let's say self-defense, home defense. You get where this is going? So now we've narrowed down the pool of things for you to look at. That's important. Otherwise, you just get enamored with a color or a profile of a certain firearm, and unfortunately, the firearm you're about to choose may not be suited for your purpose. I.e., you might want a MSR. That's right, I'm going to throw acronyms in there so that you get a little bit of research information out of this. A modern sporting rifle, such as the AR-15, the Armalite rifle. That's right. You want to go to the range, you want to do some target practice, you want to do some shooting, maybe some tactical training. This is all great and fine, so the MSR is going to be your choice. Perhaps you want to do some waterfowl hunting. Now a shotgun, specifically a 26, 28-inch barrel, 3-inch chamber. This is very important to know your purpose, as I just rattled off a bunch of information that might confuse some or all of you. That's perfectly fine. Because the number one thing that is often done wrong, I'm about to give to you right now. But first, go ahead and head on over to the A-Bird Freedom Support online swag store. Everything from hats, t-shirts, stickers, socks with the shop logo. That's right. Put them on your kicks. So, that was my shameless little plug for my online swag store. Go ahead, check it out. Coffee mugs. And from customer responses, shipping time is very fast. Now that the small plug for the shop's online store is complete, let's go ahead and let's take a look at number 3, as I promised you at the end, would be the one that is often done the most wrong. And that's going to be your research or your homework that you do before you come into the shop. And I'm just going to put this out there. If you were to Google what is the most popular handgun, you usually come up with Glock, specifically the Glock 19. And that's fine and dandy. Everything beyond that is going to be skewed so that you are purchasing the Glock 19 handgun in 9mm with a 15-round magazine. And there is nothing wrong with that. But there's other options. So when I say that, maybe putting in the Sergeant Major Google search bar, type in there, what is the most appropriate handgun for someone with small hands? If your hands are small. And then you might get an option. I'm just going to throw a blind example out there. A Smith & Wesson M&P Shield. Maybe the EZ even. Let's just go ahead and take it a step further. Because of that grip being thinner and smaller front to back, this allows you to get a better grip while also allowing a shorter trigger finger, appropriate reach to get in front of the trigger to manipulate it. Okay, so now we've just dissected that down a little bit. And why is that important? Otherwise, you get yourself like a horse with blinders, and now the only thing you're concerned about is the Glock 19. Now, I've just given you another option that possibly might be a better fit. So, when you do your homework, make sure you make your homework very specific. And when I say very specific, make it for the purpose. What is the most popular home defense shotgun? In 12 gauge, pump. And you might get the Mossberg 500. Great, tried and true, or it might tell you, while the Mossberg 500 is the most popular, due to the value and longevity of the Mossberg Maverick 88 with almost the identical operating system, at a lower budget, you get all of the tried and true Mossberg 500, but at a lower price point. And then you go to yourself, well, that's great. This is not something I'm going to shoot all the time. Maybe looking at the Mossberg Maverick 88 and 12 gauge might be my option because I'm only going to shoot it long enough to get training and become familiar with it. I think when we go into our homework, we look for a few things. Here it comes. This one's going to upset somebody, and unfortunately, it's a harsh reality. What is the cheapest, most popular, best performing handgun on the market now? And it's going to spit up whatever it's going to spit up. But you started with, i.e. in a defense scenario, what is the cheapest and best performing? So now that search might take handguns $300 and less and just rank the top one of the cheapest. And I'm not saying that may be an underperformer. What I'm saying is you dialed it incorrectly. Maybe perhaps what is the most highly reviewed positively, or what defensive handgun has the most positive reviews in the budget of $500 to $700. So if you dissect your research down, then when you come in and you're looking at a wall full of firearms, or you're looking at display cases that you can't see in front of you because they're in front of me and underneath the camera, and you're looking at SIG 365 XLs, and you're looking at Glock 19Xs, and you're looking at Glock 17 Gen 6s, and you're looking at police trade-in 17s and 22s and SIG M18s, and yes, I did just rattle off a handful of what's over there. And that was the purpose. Maybe you had dissected it down and you were looking for what you want to fit your needs or your purpose. So your homework goes with number 2. And then, of course, after you're done with all this and before you come in, you would ensure that you have that properly issued identification with your current and correct address, and you would be ready to sit down calmly, correctly, patiently, fill out the 4473 form. If you bring concise homework with its solid purpose, and you're ready to do that 4473, and just follow the directions of those of us on the other side of the counter that interact with this form daily, that would be the 3 things that would give you a better buying experience, give me a better experience, make it easier for me to assist you with your firearms purchase, whether it be the first one, the second one, or the 500, it doesn't matter. None of that changes. Also, side note, August 1st, A-Bird Freedom Support, i.e. me, I will be sitting down with the proprietor of Shoot Safe Firearms Training here in Lake Havasu City, Arizona, and I'll be doing a one-on-one with Don, and we'll be actually addressing questions, concerns of firearms owners as they get into training. That's another thing that I should have put up there. Bonus, look into training. Make sure that the firearm you're getting fits your needs so you can train appropriately with it. And with that, everyone, hopefully some of this will help some of you